Hey, first of all, good morning. I am last, but I'll try not to be least. Let me take this opportunity to first say thank you to your leader, Sean McGarvey, for his incredible leadership and for the partnership that we have built. I secondly want to thank all of the working men and women who are represented by each of you for the work that you do, for the contributions you make, and for what you mean to this nation. I am a recovering lawyer. I am a recovering politician, but I'm also a recovering laborer. Early in my life, at the age of 19, I returned after 1 year of college back to my hometown of New Orleans, and I needed a job. And in those days, college freshmen didn't have these fancy internship opportunities that are available many times today. You could go work at a retail store and make minimum wage. You could go and work at a fast food place and make minimum wage, or maybe if you were lucky, you could get on as a banquet waiter someplace where you could earn some additional tips. But I had a neighbor who was an executive with the region's largest construction firm. And he said, I can get you a real job. He says, and it will pay a lot more than minimum wage. Here's what you do. Put on a pair of jeans, put on a t-shirt, get yourself some work boots, report to this location, to this man, at this time, and don't be late. And out I went to the construction site at a place known as Lone Star Cement Factory, where I became part of a crew, and I was a laborer who helped to build a retaining tank at that plant. 7 o'clock, the whistle blew, and I had to be there. Now, mind you, this is Louisiana in June, 98, 99. On a cool day, it was 95 degrees. And it was warm and it was hot. And I got an opportunity while doing that work to get an inside look not only at the work, and it was demanding. I spent the summer pushing a wheelbarrow, carrying plywood, sometimes helping to spread concrete after it was poured. And we worked from 7 until noon. The whistle blew, we had 30 minutes. 30 minutes to go to the truck, get some lunch, sit under the tree, and then the whistle blew at 12:30, and we were back on the job at 3 o'clock. I was out and on my way home. But here's the point, because I remember the numbers. Sean, at the time, the minimum wage was in the dollar range, $1.75, $1.85, and I was earning at the time $7.50 per hour. So imagine, when I went out with my buddies to the club, I was the guy that had some paper in his pocket, and I got the attention of those I was trying to get the attention from. But here's a story from those days. I befriended, because I was a young guy, 19. I had several older laborers take me under their wing to teach me the ropes of the job, to tell me exactly how you do the work, how you keep yourself safe, how you keep yourself protected, how you pace yourself during the day, and a whole host of other tips. One of the men I met, and I'll never forget him, had been a laborer, a union laborer for 25 years. And he lived in Picayune, Mississippi, and commuted into New Orleans every single day for his work. But then he told me the pride. He looked at me and he said, "You're in college." And he began to tell me about his sons and how the work he had done as a union laborer enabled him to put his sons through college. Many, many years later, after I became mayor of New Orleans and was out and about, I ran into this man's grandson, who at the time was also a college student. One of the things that we have to do is we have to embrace and lift up and message the fact that when people have an opportunity for family-sustaining wages, when they have an opportunity to participate in union wages, they have an opportunity to take care of their families. They have an opportunity to take care of their children, their grandchildren, and others. So I learned that lesson. Now, after 3 months in the sweltering heat at $7.50 an hour, I decided time to go back to college. But I learned, and it was a rewarding experience for me. And it informs this new partnership that the National Urban League and the Building Trades Unions have confected. And I want to share with you some thoughts about that partnership. But I do also want to shout out any of my friends from the Building Trades Unions who are from New Orleans, Louisiana, or the Gulf South region. If you are here, raise your hands. If you're not, you're going to be tardy. But I want to shout you out for the support that I had when I was a public official and an elected official and the work we did. This partnership arises in an effort to address a longstanding issue. And that longstanding issue was not enough opportunity for black and brown people for the union jobs in America. So we decided, Sean and I, and our teams working together, that with the Biden administration and with Secretary Walsh, we had an opportunity to meaningfully address this in a new and exciting way. And over a year ago, we began discussions about the best way to do that. And I'm proud that we have confected this new partnership where we're going to work in 4 states initially, and on a long-term basis even more, to help 13,000 people become apprentices within the building trades unions. So I am excited about that opportunity. At the National Urban League, we have for over 50 years worked as an organization that seeks to train, prepare, and place men and women, mostly black but not exclusively black, in good jobs that pay good wages with good benefits. And we worked across all industries. When the infrastructure bill was being formulated in the transition between the former president and President Biden, we were asked to go to the table with the new administration and with the people who were designing it. And one of the points we made, and I made it in meetings with President Biden, was that we had to forge new approaches to try to create the workforce of the 21st century. And the workforce of the 21st century is going to look like the America of the 21st century, which is a diverse nation, a nation with people of all backgrounds, races, creeds, colors, and religions. So our big vision here with this partnership, with these 13,000 people, is to introduce them to new economic opportunity. new opportunities to be bricklayers, to be pipe fitters, to be electricians, to be operating engineers, to be pile drivers, to work in the emerging economies of America. So through this, I am hopeful that those of you who are local union leaders will have an opportunity to get to know and work with our local Urban League executives, 90 of them across the nation, because we want to forge a relationship that is not only about this initiative, but forge a closer working relationships on all of the important issues of economics and justice in this country. See, my vision is a very, very simple vision. And my vision is America of the 21st century is going to be a nation that is greater than America of the 20th century, greater than America of the 19th century. And it's my hope that those that live in the 22nd century will want to build an America greater than the 21st century. We have to continue. And what that means is that we have to practice the politics and the economics of inclusion. And that means that the union workforce of the 21st century, it is going to be white, it's going to be black, it's going to be brown, it's going to be indigenous, it's going to be men, it's going to be women, it's going to be younger people, it may be people who are more seasoned. It needs to be everybody. Because if we don't do it that way, we can't compete with China and India. If we don't do it that way, we can't build the bridges and the highways and the broadband and fix and take the lead out of the pipes or build the housing and the apartments that we need in the 21st century. We can't do it unless we have everyone in the game proverbially. Everyone operating at their maximum skill level. Everyone understanding that we have to work in unison and work together. So I'm excited about this initiative. And Sean, this is not a date. This is not a hookup. This is a long-term friendship and a long-term marriage that we want to confect with the building trades unions and the National Urban League. And then finally, we have to fight across the board for an America where family-sustaining wages are the rule and not the exception. America needs to be, and we have to share this vision. And it's an old vision. If you work and you have a job, or if you're a small business owner, what you earn is enough to take care of yourself and your family with dignity. Enough to pay the rent or the mortgage. Enough to care for your children or your parents. Enough to be able to own the transportation that you need, place food on the table, have the health care that you need. We have to embrace that vision from the very beginning for organized labor. That has been the vision. The vision has been family-sustaining wages and the ability of people with their own nerve, with their own grit, with their own skill to rise out of poverty or to rise to middle class and working class status. The National Urban League embraces that vision fully. Our fight is to make sure that it is a vision and it is a reality enjoyed by the nation's communities of color as well. And that's what this relationship is all about. So we're making history and we're making a difference. And I want to invite you to work with us and to fight with us to make sure this vision is a reality. And as we say at the Urban League, let us fight until hell freezes over, and then let's fight on the ice. Thank you very much. I appreciate all of you today. Take care, God bless, and good luck.